Greetings, toy heads, and welcome to another episode of Go Figure with me, your host, Eli Williams. And today we are taking a look at the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series Archive Edition Chewbacca. This is one of the ones I picked up at Ollie's recently. I've been sitting on this for a while. I know it's an older figure, but I didn't really jump on the Archive Edition bandwagon. I kind of hedged my bets and waited for them to basically become Ollie's fodder. And then I might pick them up, and that's what I did. So looking at this here, we've got the Star Wars Black Series logo, Archive on the back. We've got that Archive card back there, Chewbacca on the side here. There you can see Chewbacca and all his Wookieess. Ages 4+, we've got that black and white artwork from the original packaging. On the back, we've got that same artwork there, picture of the original box, 2015 blurb about Chewbacca, jibbery jabbery legal jargon across the board, ages 0 to 3, you know what that means.
If your child is not born yet, they shouldn't play with these toys.
That's right, you're welcome. Disney and Hasbro logo. And then on the bottom here, the card seems to be running up into the front there when it was packaged. But we've got jibbery jabbery legal jargon, houses of Klingon, and barcode. Let's get him out of the package. I'm not worried about, just like with my Grand Moff Tarkin that I just did, I'm not really concerned with keeping the package on these. I'm just going to toss them in the garbage. All right, let's get his stuff out. Oh, we got a thing that's being contrary. Oh, it's taped in at the top. I didn't expect that to be taped in because they used to not really do that. They were just kind of laying in there. All right, let's get the front of his own bowcaster out, and that's taped in as well. Get that tape off. Oh, there it goes on the floor because my floor is hungry. Let's get him out. We'll get him on the pedestal and we'll have ourselves a look. And here we have him on the pedestal. Let's have a look at the one and only accessory. We have the Wookiee bowcaster, just like the original. We've got the little peg here in the front that pops into the peg hole on the inside of that front part of the bowcaster. That just pops in there, and like so. Now this one, I will say, in the Archive Edition is a little tighter. My floor is hungry for that front piece. It's a little, a little more of a tight fit, because I know the original, it really wants to fall off a lot on that. And then the scope is removable like it is on the original. But we can put that back on there. That just slides into place. There we go. So yeah, I will say this. It is, I don't know if the original is as gunmetal-y as this one is. I've got it here on the side. We're going to do a compare and contrast here. It does seem to be a little bit more shiny metal finish on this one than the original. So we'll set that aside, and then here we have Chewbacca. He stands at approximately between 7.5 and 7 3/4 inches tall. Pretty well, actually. Right in there, almost pretty close to 8 inches tall. Looking at, let's do a compare and contrast here. Let me get my original out here. And looking at them side by side, first off, this does seem a tiny bit more shiny than the original. A little bit glossier finish, more gunmetal, a little bit of weathering on there. Looking at the figure itself, there is a noticeable difference. Actually, this hand looks like it's a different color than that hand. I don't know if you can see that on camera or not, but looking at it here in the lighting, that appears to be a lighter brown than that. That's really strange. There is a noticeable difference in color in the fur. This one has a little bit more of a light burnt orange tinge to it than this does. This is more of a little bit lighter brown. Actually, I wonder if they actually screwed up and put an original hand on that right hand, because let me bring that in. If you look at this right hand and then or look at the left hand and then look at the right hand, it is slightly lighter. The toes are still gray, and the paws are still gray, but the hair on the body is a little bit orangier. I don't know if that's a word. And then the darkness, that dark shading dry brush coming off of the shoulders is a little darker than the original too. The bandolier looks like it is also different. This one's a lighter brown. This one is a darker brown and has some weathering and some dry brush detail on it. So yeah, there is a considerable difference also on the fur underneath on the top of the legs. It doesn't go down as far as it does on that right leg on the archive edition as it does on the original there. The face sculpts look to be I think there's actually a different head sculpt. The head is a little wider on the original than it is, just a tiny bit wider on the original. And there's the eyes don't seem like this one looks cross-eyed. I'd really never noticed that, but this one seems a little bit more realistic. The nose is glossier. The mouth has a little bit better of a paint app on it, and the hair doesn't have as much. Actually, looking at it side by side, this one doesn't really look as much like Chewbacca as this does. What I'm probably going to end up doing is, I'm going to get that tucked under his head hair there. I may end up using this one over in my Return of the Jedi display up there, next to my Endor Han Solo. Yeah, there is a considerable difference on there. Looking at articulation, as we all know, the Wookiee body in Black Series is very limited on articulation. We do have some head, well, you know, we've got, it's just basically, it's a ball peg under there. Really no rotation on the head, no up, no down. Tiny bit of tilt, but that's about it. Not going anywhere on that. On the arms, we do have a full rotation on the arms. Shoulder hinge out to there in a T formation. There is a shoulder hinge, or an elbow hinge rather, with a swivel on there, and then you've got a swivel on the wrists with an in and out on the wrists there. Ball joint mid torso for not much ab crunch at all, but you do get a little turn, and then on the waist as well you've got a ball joint, and then underneath the legs out to right about there, not getting any further than that, there is a thigh swivel and then a single knee with a hinge, and then you've got a little bit of detents on the feet and a forward rocker on the feet. Let's get his bowcaster in his hand, which is gonna be hard, because the Chewie is not very, yeah, there's no getting trigger fingers in that. Forget it. It ain't happening. Keeping that bandolier tucked under that's going to be an issue. We'll put that down. Oh, here we go. Here we go. See, I told you. My floor is hungry. I really just need to super glue those on. Yeah, my floor wants that front of that bowcaster So, yeah. It's Chewbacca. There's not really much more you can say on that. Let's get him off the pedestal. We'll line him up with some other characters, and we'll see how he scales up. And here we have him with the Medico Mafex Return of the Jedi Boba Fett, the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, the Void Build-A-Figure Wave, Vision, the Mezco 1/12 Collective 1978 Christopher Reeve Superman, and the Mattel DC Universe Classics Martian Manhunter. All in all, I'm very happy with him. I mean, despite the limitations that you're going to get with the Wookiee body in the Black series, I think this one, I think the head sculpt is definitely better. I think the paint job on it is a little better. I like the new details on the bandolier and the bag. I like the new glossiness and metallic look to the bowcaster. I think they did a really good job with this, and I'm actually glad I picked this up, more so than the Grand Moff Tarkin, because I just kind of feel like, it's just there's definitely a bit of a greater change to this one. So I'm actually this one's gonna end up being over by my Return of the Jedi. Either that, or I'll plop it in my Cantina section of my A New Hope section. I don't know. I haven't really decided yet, but one of those two places, because I've got Han sitting with Greedo, and he's all by himself, and I feel like Chewie needs to be there to back him up. So I'm going to give this. I'm actually going to give it an 8 out of 10. It would be more if it had. I mean, this would be pretty close to a 10 out of 10 if it had the articulation, but they just haven't really nailed that yet. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll see a better Wookiee design sometime in the future with the Black series. So that'll do it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that bell so you can get information on all the good things coming out of my channel. You all have yourselves a great week and a great day. I'll see you next time, and until then, don't forget to get your figure on. Take care.